everyone, so it's Leslie from Lola Bell, and I thought I would do a very quick video just to give you some tips on different tools that you might need, and I'll try and link down to these, or some of these down in the description below, so you can see where I've got them from or where you can buy variations of them. So obviously when you're working with wire, whether it's soft, medium, hard, silver, copper, gold, whatever it is, you are first and foremost going to need a good set of cutters. Now, I have multiple sets of cutters, and I tend to go through favourites, but at the moment these Panda Hall ones are proving really good. They are nice and sharp, they're staying nice and sharp, which is obviously great, but you want some that have got a flat edge. So you've got an angled edge one side and a flat edge the other. So if I just grab a bit of scrap wire. So what happens is when you cut your wire, the side that's got the angle on it, if I cut it in the middle, it'll be easier. The side that's got the angle on it becomes pinched. So it's very hard to see it from on the camera. But you've got like a pointy pinched kind of end, whereas the side that was cut by the flat edge has got a nice flat edge. Okay, now if you've got good cutters, you won't get too much of a squeeze on both sides, but I would always say that your cutters are going to be the best investment that you can get, because they're the things that you're going to use a lot. And when you come to connecting the back wires, you're going to need something that can get quite close in as well to everything else. With that in mind, another tool that is very useful is this. This is a rounding burr. So when you've got an end that's a little bit tight, you put the end of the wire into this, and it's like sanding down, and it takes away sharper edges, and it just gives a more rounded end to your wire, which is very helpful obviously when you're doing necklaces and rings, because you don't want stabby ends. So item number 2, so you've got your cutters, and you've got your burr. One of the probably more used items in my toolbox, which is obviously why they're so scratched, are these flat nose pliers. I've had these for a couple of years now, and they are brilliant. As you can see, they are so tight when they grip, so when you're flattening things off, they are really useful. I use these a lot. I use these to help me lift wires when I'm threading back wires in, flattening off bails, tidying up ends, things like that. So they're really very versatile and very much used, these ones. So your flat nose pliers, and then you've got your bail making pliers. So with these, you can see that you've got multiple different sizes, and it's just so you can make different size bails really. You can also get these in just a like a rod form, a bit like this. So again, you can see it's got different sizes. Obviously with this one you can grip it as you pull it around. With this one you have to grip it with your hand. It's all down to preference really, but bail making pliers are very important. I've got a couple of different types, so you can see these are the ones I use more often, but yeah, so you can get different sizes. You can also get these round nose pliers, which you can also use to make bails, but obviously they've got much smaller tips here, and these are quite good at making swirls and spirals and things. So again, very useful. Your bail making pliers and your round nose pliers. These are round nose pliers as well, so again you can see much smaller tip. They're about the same as each other, but yeah, so you see what they are. I've just got a normal pair of pliers, which again I just use for threading wire through, pulling things across, threading the back wires in, connecting wires, etc. Very useful. Nylon pliers. Now again, I've got couple of pairs of these. One slightly smaller than the other. I find these ones a little bit better because the nylon it's actually screwed in, whereas these ones it's just slid on, and sometimes it can slide off when you're trying to do things and you end up catching your wire. But your nylon nose pliers are going to be very good at straightening wire, again squeezing things where you don't want to mar the wire, just tidying things up again. Very, very, very useful. And then bent nose pliers, again, these are very well used for threading things through the back. So if you can't quite get the angle, you can get in there with these, and they're very, very useful and versatile. Something that I have found incredibly useful are these silicone finger sleeves. So when you're working with wire, obviously it's quite sturdy stuff. It stabs a lot when you're doing things, especially the thinner gauge wires. So I have found these to be very useful, certainly when you're doing a lot of detail in a weave, because obviously you do get quite sore fingers sometimes. And then you've got a ring mandrel. So obviously when you're using a ring mandrel, it's useful for multiple things other than just rings. It's quite good at shaping the wires around the base of an oval cabochon. Obviously shaping your rings, making sure things are round, using to create the back frames of things that you're going to attach to. So it's pretty versatile. And then finally, the last two things, and I'm sorry I have not prepared, the last two things are your chasing hammer and your hammering block. So with my hammering block, I've got a big rubber wedge, big steel block, and my chasing hammer. So those are your tools. I will link down in the description for different things that you might need and where you can get them from. And then obviously, you know, if you need any help with anything or you want more advice, by all means just pop in the comments that you want some advice. But otherwise, thank you for watching, and please like and subscribe and share the video and help me build a little Lola Belle community. Thanks very much. Take care. Bye bye.